O Lord, open our lips, and we will proclaim your praise. Your light springs up for the righteous, and all the peoples have seen your glory. This morning we read from 1 Samuel in chapter 18. After David had killed Goliath, then David is commissioned into Saul's army and becomes very successful. And David defeats, and every mission that he's sent on, David defeats the Philistines, and Saul promotes him. Everything's going well. The kingdom is going forward. Saul is reigning as king triumphantly, and David there on his staff, winning victory after victory. And then comes the fly in the ointment. Then comes the disaster, and it is, in fact, Saul's jealousy. The women were celebrating. Saul has slain his thousands, David his tens of thousands. David, the women were singing, is better as a warrior than Saul, but Saul was still king. But he was jealous of David's gifts and talents. Instead of using David's gifts and talents for the good of the kingdom, Saul became jealous of him. One time when David was playing his lyre to soothe Saul, he threw a spear at him, and then he began to conspire against him. Some of the conspiracy may seem odd. He offered to marry David to one of his daughters. That would have brought David into the royal family, but being a member of the royal family would have meant that he would have been a greater prize to the Philistines. So David would have been in more danger. And Saul eventually does persuade David to marry one of his daughters, Micah, who loves him, and he sets him a task to kill 100 Philistines. David goes out and kills 200. Saul was hoping that the Philistines would defeat David, but in fact that's not what happened. And Saul's jealousy stopped him using the talents and gifts of David for the good of the kingdom. And how often in church life and in political life and in so many spheres of life, instead of people working together, we become jealous of the gifts and talents of others, and our jealousy causes us to fail to work together properly, and so holds back the work in which we're engaged. In the church, this can be a disaster. When ministers are jealous of each other and competing with each other, instead of joining forces to work for the good of God's kingdom, then we hold back the kingdom and injure each other. Let's today seek not to be like Saul, but to thank God for the gifts and talents of others, even if they get more praise and more credit than we do. Amen.